Greetings, happy Sunday. Welcome Akwaaba to everyone joining today. Greetings from across the pond, Robbie, D-Man, Monica, if you're with us as well. Queen P, if you're with us. Thanks for joining today. Following on from what we finished off with last week, with a nice, fairly pacey flow, just incorporating different parts that we've learned in weeks gone by. I'll try and finish on time today as well. For anyone new, my name is Mark. Do subscribe if it's your first time. Otherwise, let's kick off. Easy, Mr. Addy. Thanks for your support as always. Remember to have your water and a towel handy. If you've got a thick book, you can maybe sit on, or a block, just grab that now as well. I'm going to start off in a seat position, or come to your knees, either or, whichever suits yourself. Just come cross-legged if you're in a seat, or come to your knees. I'm going to close my eyes just for the first 2 or 3 breaths, just to come nice and centered and focused. So again, picking up the theme as we finished off with last week, centered and focused. Thanks again for that, Natalie. So just close your eyes, just try and sit nice and tall on your glutes. Take your hands to opposite knees, to right hand to right knee, left hand to left knee. And just close your eyes for a couple of breaths and just find yourself present here for the next 60 minutes on your mats. Just let go of any thoughts that you might have, any distractions. If you've got kids in the background, just give yourself a couple of seconds just to come into your own head and reward yourself for just being here on the mat. Just give yourself an opportunity to move your body around. As you're sitting nice and tall, just draw in your abs. And when you use your abs, it helps take stress off your lower back. Just really lengthen up through the back. Just blink open your eyes. So I'm going to take a quick seated twist. So this time take your right hand and place it on your left knee. Maybe place your left hand just behind you or to your back diagonal. Again, try and keep that the asana, the posture, I should say, of being nice and tall through the spine. So as you breathe in, come nice and tall, and just use the resistance of the hand against the knee to start to twist over towards your left hand side. Again, you're not twisting from the neck, so just keep your head with your chin over your chest. And you're twisting from your belly. On the inhale, draw up. On the exhale, so you've got any more room to twist around. Let's go for one more. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, take to the left a bit more. And then release. Release that right hand. Maybe shake out the arm. Just reverse the side. So this time take your left hand and place it just on the outside of the right knee. Again, feel nice and tall for your torso. Take your right hand, just put it towards your back diagonal. So inhale to draw up, and exhale to start to twist over. You're not in any sort of competition to mess up your back and look towards the back wall. Just taking gentle inhales and exhales. On the inhale, you're drawing up. Exhale, you're finding a bit more space to twist from the belly, keeping your chin over your chest. And on the next breath, just release. If you're in a seat position, just uncross your legs. If you're on your knees, this will just come. So we're in tabletop. So hands at the front of the mat and just start to come into your cat and cows. So again, I'm not going to talk too much through the different positions of the hands and the feet. So I think everyone here has been here for a few classes now. So in the tabletop, start to Barrel the belly down, take the gaze left right diagonal, so you draw the belly down and the gaze up, and reverse it, so you come to the angry cat, pushing the hands into the mat. Inhale to draw up, really undulate the back and the belly, exhale to push into the mat, create space between your shoulder blades. Let's take one more. Inhale to look to the front diagonal, exhale, really draw that belly towards the spine as it comes to the angry cat. And as we like to do, just come to a freestyle. So just find yourself into your body here. You might want to drop forwards and back. You might want to take a figure of 8 through your hips. Just come into any nooks and crannies and the tightness. Feel free to hold a spot just to help you come to the release. You might want to wind up through the shoulders. Again, just use this time just to freestyle through your body. As you do, just try and find movement with the breath. You're doing something on one side, then again, just take the other side. On the next breath in, let's come into our tabletop. I'm going to push straight back into our downward facing dog. Just pushing your hands into the mat, you're uncurling the back toes, and you're bringing your heels energetically just draw them towards the mat as you come into your inverted V. This is your first downward facing dog, so just start to walk it out. Start discovering your calf muscles for the first time maybe today. And again, in your downward facing dog, try to roll out through the shoulders so that you're not hunched in. So wrap your shoulders around your face, start to create more space in your back, and your heels will start to move more towards the ground. So you create length through your calves and your hamstrings. Really draw the belly in, take a deep inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth together. Let's take one more of those. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. This time let's come to Ujjayi, so take a deep inhale in through the nose. This time restrict the mouth and exhale through the nose. And again, inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. On the next breath in, just come up onto your tiptoes. Slowly start to just tiptoe towards the front of your mat, keeping your hands where they are. Keep tiptoeing. When you can't go any further, release the hands and just stay in your ragdoll position here. Just sway from left to right. Just take opposite hands to opposite elbows. And continue that movement. Again, you're just finding yourself for your way into your hamstrings here. You're letting gravity just draw your head and your arms towards the ground. Take a deep inhale in through the nose and exhale through the nose. On the next inhale in, just let the arms go. Let's start to just roll up one vertebra at a time, keeping the head heavy, keeping the arms heavy. Just keep going slowly. Stay nice and heavy through the upper body. And start to roll your shoulders back as you come up and let your head come up last. With your arms either side of your body, just face your palms forward. Your feet are hip distance apart. You're standing nice and tall, drawing your belly. As you're standing in Tadasana, in mountain pose. Just close your eyes for one more breath as you breathe in through the nose and exhale through the nose. Just try and keep that Ujjayi breath going throughout the class. On the next breath in, let's draw the hands all out to the sky. And on the exhale, we're bending from the hips and we're coming all the way down to Uttanasana, so a forward fold. Again, the head is heavy, the hands heavy. Let's take a halfway lift, hands to shins. So look just beyond the front of the mat, draw your shoulders back. Exhale, release down. Just let the hands go heavy, the arms go heavy, your head is heavy. Take another halfway lift. Hands to shins, take a halfway lift. Exhale to release to the ground. On the next inhale, let's draw the hands all up to the sky in prayer. Exhale, bring the hands in prayer to our chest. On the next breath in, let's take the hands all up to the ceiling. On the exhale, keep your hands in prayer, draw them through the chest, bend from the hip as you come down to Uttanasana, your forward fold. Let's inhale, let's come to our halfway lift, hands to our shins. And exhale, take the hands to the front of the mat, step the left foot back and the right foot back as we come into our first high plank. So just roll forwards and back on the toes. Again, at any point you might need to, feel free to drop the knees. But if you can, just keep yourself up in high plank. On the next rock forward, come to the front of the toes. On the exhale, let's start to bend through the elbows as we come down into our low plank. On the next breath in, let's come back up into our high plank. So you're not dropping down just yet. Stay with me. On the next breath, we're coming down to low plank. We're still off the mat, your elbows are at a right angle. On the next breath in, push up into a high plank. And let's go down for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come all the way down to the mat. Uncurl the back toes. You can come into Sphinx or a Cobra, so take your elbows underneath your shoulders. Start to use the hands to grip into the floor of the mat and pull your torso through your arms. And on exhale, release down. Let's place our hands underneath the shoulders. Let's all together push up into our upward facing dog. Your knees might be off the mat here. And on the next breath, curl the toes under as you come into your downward facing dog. You're here for just 3 breaths. Just find out how your body's feeling today. Each time you come back into your downward facing dog, don't forget to maintain your Ujjayi breath. In for the nose and out for the nose. On the next breath in, let's all together jump or step forward towards the front of the mat. Again, the hands, the arms, the head still heavy. Let's come into our halfway lift, hands to our shins. Draw the shoulders back. On the exhale, let's release down the hands to the head. On the next breath in, I'm going to sweep the hands up to the sky. At the top, we'll meet in prayer. And we're going to bring our hands to the chest. On the next breath in, let's draw the hands all the way up to the ceiling. Try and breathe beyond the fingers. Let's come nice and tall. On the exhale, let's bend from the hip as we come all the way down to Uttanasana. Forward fold. Take the hands to the shins for halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the front of the mat. And let's step the left foot back and the right foot back. Again, going to rock forwards and back on the toes. On the next rock forward, again, I'm going to start to bend into the elbows. So come to the low plank. And then push up to our high plank. Let's go for 2 more. Start to bend into the elbows. Slowly hold it off the ground. And push up into a high plank. This time I'm going to start coming down slowly for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. We're staying up off the mat. And let's push straight up into our upward facing dog. Curl the toes under and push back into our downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in and exhale through the nose. Just take 2 more breaths here at your own pace. So we start off by doing a bit more on the upper body, on the arm strength, as we look to start to, in the next couple of weeks, incorporate some arm balancing. On the next breath in, let's come up onto our toes. And again, jump or step forward. So your feet meet your hands at the front of the mat. Let's come to a halfway lift. Deep inhale in and exhale as we come down. On Let's breath in, let's sweep the hands all up to the sky again. Exhale, bring our hands to the chest. Let's go for one more of those. We're just going to pick up the pace a little bit. So on the inhale, hands to the ceiling. On the exhale, bend from the hips, we come all the way down. Inhale to our halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the front of the mat, step back into our high plank. Inhale to roll forwards. Exhale to low plank. Inhale to high plank. Exhale to low plank. Inhale to high plank. Again, you can drop the knees. Feel free to drop the knees. On the next breath in, we're going to come down to low plank. We're going to push straight up into our upward facing dog. And on the exhale, curl the toes under and push back into a down facing dog. On the next breath in, let's all together start to raise our right leg up so it's parallel with the mat. Curl the toes towards the face, but your right leg is nice and straight. On the next breath in, let's start to draw the knee through the body and take the knee to the nose. And on the next breath out, push the leg right back against its parallel. Let's take two more. So again, draw the knee forward, knee to nose. Let's come back for one more. Your right leg is nice and parallel. Let's draw it in again, knee to nose, and take it back so it's parallel. On the next breath in, we're going to draw the leg all the way forward as you come to warrior one legs. So the right leg is coming all the way through, and place the right side of the foot so it sits just inside of your right hand and come up into your warrior one legs. Once you feel nice and grounded through the feet, when your left foot is pointing out towards 10 o'clock, start to draw the hands up towards the ceiling. Try as much as you can to pivot your hips so they're facing forward. Draw in your belly and come up nice and tall through the torso. On the next breath in, let's really try and touch the ceiling, maintaining that, bending that right leg. And on the breath out, let's come to warrior two. So right hand forward, left arm back. You might be walking your right foot so it's a bit more central. Take a glimpse to see where your right and your left hand is. Is it nice and parallel to the floor? Or is it drooping down? Nice and strong and proud in this warrior stance. Your left leg is nice and straight. Your right leg is grounded. On the next breath in, you're going to flip the right palm over. Let's take it into our reverse warrior. The right hand comes up, the left hand might go to the left hip. Creating a nice stretch through the right hand side of your body, through your ribs. Feet into your lats, and your intercostal muscles here. And start to come into a side angle. I'm just going to start to bring the right elbow so it sits inside of that right thigh. You spin up and open up to the left hand side of the room. So the left hand goes up. Maybe take your gaze down towards the mat, or take your gaze up towards your left hand. Embracing the wobbles or shakes you might be experiencing. Really try and feel grounded through your feet. So bring your awareness to your feet, your back foot and your right foot and front. And just have a sense of trust. On the next breath in, let's come back up into warrior two. So the left hand goes back, your right arm goes forward. This time I'm going to take and interlace behind our sacrum, so interlace your hands behind your lower back. On the inhale, let's start to lift and shine the chest up towards the ceiling. Just take a slight back bend here. And on the exhale, start to draw your chest forward. So you're leaning your chest as opposed to your head. Your chest is coming just to sit inside of your right thigh. And as you do so, you'll probably start to find your hands lifting up off your sacrum, your lower back, as you come into your humble warrior. You might start to find you're getting a nice stretch for your right hamstring here. If you find that your right hip is flaring out to the side, try and draw it back into all center. Just maintain the integrity of the pose here as much as you can. On the inhale, let's come up. Still the hands behind our back. Shine your chest up to the ceiling. Let's come back into warrior two. So right hand again goes forwards, your left hand is back. Now let's cartwheel the hands to the front of the mat. I'm going to step the right foot to join the left foot at the back of the mat. This time, let's take our right hand and place our right hand in the center of the mat. I'm going to spin over. Let's come into a side plank. Feel free to drop the knee and the shin, the right knee and the right shin. If need be, keep the left leg straight. Start to open up again to the left hand side, taking your left hand up to the sky. Just take your gaze up to the left hand. Feel free to look down towards your right hand. You can level up for 3 more breaths. Either hold it here or level up. Just take your right leg to meet your left leg. So this time you're on the side of the right foot. You've got a nice banana bow going through your body here. Let's just take one pulse here. So we're going to draw that left hand all the way down so it just threads behind the right elbow. See if you can maintain your balance. And then draw your left hand back up towards the sky. On the next breath in, let's all cartwheel the hands. So both hands at the front of the mat. So we're coming back into our high plank. Let's all drop our knees. Let's come into a low plank. Bending the elbows. Let's curl the back toes under as we push up into our upward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, curl the back toes under as we come into our downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out through the nose. Just see if energetically you can draw your heels any more towards the mat. When you push through the hands for a couple more breaths, maintain your ujjayi. So in through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Let's just take that now on the other side. So the next breath in, start to lift the left leg up so it's nice and parallel with the floor of the mat. You're curling the toes towards your face so your feet are nicely turned on. And on the next breath, we start to draw the knee all the way through to the nose. And on the breath out, let's push back. The left leg goes straight. And again, let's start to bring it through. The left knee's coming through, knee to nose. Let's come back for one more. Left leg's nice and straight. On the next breath in, we're going to knee to nose and hold it for 3, for 2, for 1. Let's take it back. The left leg is straight. On the next breath in, we're going to bring that left leg all the way through. So we're coming to warrior 1 legs. So this on the left sole sitting just inside of the left hand. Once you feel nice and grounded, your back leg is straight. Your right foot is pointing out towards 2 o'clock. It starts to lift up through your torso. Your hips are aligned and pointing forward. And finally start to draw the hands up to the sky as you come into your warrior 1 on the left hand side. So again, a bit out of breath, so I feel like my ribs are flaring out. Just try to draw your abs in, your belly in. Engage your belly lock. Come up nice and tall through the torso. Your hands are open, spread out towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Feel nice and tall and nice and proud through your torso. And on the next breath, let's come to warrior two. So left hand goes forward, right hand goes back. I'm going to just move my left foot so it's slightly more towards center. Just find your drishti point, your focal point. For me, I'm looking over my left middle finger. Just looking at the fingertip for a couple of breaths. Just maintain that bend in your left knee as you flip that left hand over and start to take reverse warrior. So the left hand comes up and the right hand I'm going to take towards my right hip. I'm taking my gaze up towards my left hand. You might feel inclined to take your gaze down towards the floor. And just see if you can feel that stretch coming through. This time the left hand side of your body. On the next breath in, let's start to cartwheel. So the left elbow this time is going to sit inside of our left thigh as we come into side angle lunge. Start to draw that right hand, right all up to the ceiling. Again, try not to you're not sitting that left elbow on the left knee. You're sitting just inside and using resistance to help you open up the body more towards the right hand side. It's a really good asana, it's a really good posture for embracing vulnerability and just exposing yourself to maybe stuff that's uncomfortable. From here, let's start to come back up into warrior two. So the right arm's going back and the left arm is forward. This time, let's take the interlace of the hands again behind our lower back. Maybe if you had your right thumb on top last time, take the opposite interlace. So it feels a bit different, a bit weird maybe. So you're interlacing your fingers behind your sacrum, your lower back. You still got that bend in that left knee. Start to lift the chest up towards the ceiling. On the inhale and on the exhale, start to lean with the chest forward. You come in, so you're just sitting inside of that left knee. Maybe your hands, you've got arms nice and straight, start to lift up off the sacrum, up and over as you come to your humble warrior. Again, if your left hip is flaring out, try your best to draw it in. Again, just embracing your shakes or wobbles here. Just feel into the stretch. I find it in particular on my left hamstring. Give it just 2 more breaths. On the inhale, let's start to seesaw the hands back towards the sacrum. Shine our chest up to the ceiling for 1 more breath. And come back into warrior two. So right arm back, left arm forward. And let's cartwheel the hands down towards the front of the mat. Step the left foot back to join the right. So come to high plank. This time, let's take the left hand and place left hand in the middle of the mat. Again, feel free to drop that left knee and left shin. Bring the right heel down as we come into side angle lunge. Sorry, side plank. Side plank on the left hand. So start to wind up the body and take the right hand up to the ceiling. So maintain your breath here. Again, if you're looking to level up, let's take the left leg to join that right leg at the back. This time you're balancing on the outside of your left foot. Again, create that banana shape for your body. And for 1 breath, even if your shin is down, or you want to feel you're in a full posture, to start to thread that right hand behind the left elbow. Start to bring it down, really engage your abs here to maintain your balance. And then take the right hand all the way back up to the ceiling. And then let's cut all the hands down as we come into high plank. Again, together, let's drop the knees. Let's come into our low plank. So you're bending through the elbows to right angle. Uncurl the back toes as you come up into our upward facing dog. Really shine that chest through, so not really dumping into that lower back. And then push back into our down facing dog. And for just 3 breaths. If you need to, actually just everyone just drop the knees and let's come into child's pose for a couple of breaths. So take a deep inhale in for the nose and exhale for the nose. We're going knees apart and feet together. As much as you can, let's start to bring your forehead towards the mat. And start to walk the hands forward. And let them rest and be heavy and light. Light and heavy. That doesn't work. Let your arms be heavy. Feel not to bring any tension to the upper body. Just let the floor hold you up. Just release into gravity. In child's pose for 1 more breath. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. On the next inhale in, let's come back up into our tabletop. Together, let's push back into our down facing dog. On the next breath in, start to just walk that left foot so the left foot sits just in the middle, at the back. Now lift the right leg again up towards parallel. Or if it's there, if you can lift it to the back diagonal. So create a bit more. You're working the strength of that right leg a bit more. And this time I'm going to draw that knee all the way through. And so we're going knee to nose. You're high on the back toes. You go knee to nose with that right knee. And then drop your leg, your foot down. So you're on the sole of the foot at the front of the mat. You're high on the back toes. And start to lift the torso up as we come into high lunge, crescent lunge. Start to draw the hands up towards the ceiling. Really work the balance here. You've got to bend again in that right knee. Deep inhale in and exhale through the nose. On the next breath in, again, draw the hands up to the ceiling. And on the exhale out, leave your legs where they are. Start to take your left hand forward and your right arm back as you start to twist and open up towards the right hand side. You're still on your back toes of your left foot. And draw the hands back up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, let's take a twist again. Left arm forward, right arm back. Just take your gaze towards the right hand side. Let's go for 1 more. Draw the hands up towards the ceiling. And again, let's take right arm back, left arm forward. So you come to a twist on the right hand side. Whoops, hold here for 3, for 2, for 1. Draw the hands back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, let's bring the hands down towards the front of the mat. Step that right foot to meet that left foot at the back of the mat in high plank. Just roll forward onto the toes and come down to low plank. Let's push up into high plank. Let's come down again into low plank. Come up into high plank. And 1 more. Let's come down into low plank. Hold it for 3, 2, for 1. Let's push up into our upward facing dog. And when you're ready, push back, curl the toes under. I'm going to come into downward facing dog. Let's take a deep inhale in through the nose and exhale through the nose. Just take 1 more breath at your own pace. Take a note of your heartbeat here. If it stayed constant or if it's sped up a little bit. And the next breath in, I'm going to walk just my right foot so it's a bit more to the center. Take a bit more stability when I come to a high lunge later on. Now start to lift the left leg. So again, it's parallel to the floor. Or if it's there for you, see if you can take your left leg up towards the back diagonal. Again, ladies, be careful. You might want to keep your leg at a parallel position. It's your time of the month. Just listen to your bodies. On the next breath in, and start to draw your knee through your body. As you start to bring your knee towards your nose. And this time you're going to drop the left sole of the foot. So it's at the front of the mat. Your back foot is again pointing forwards as well. But you're on your toes of your back right foot. Let's start to lift up off the torso. As we come into our high lunge, crescent lunge. Your right leg is nice and straight. Maybe take a slight bend if your body's calling for it. When you're ready, start to draw the hands up towards the ceiling. Again, just draw your abs in. Put your abs in towards your spine. So you feel nice and strong for your belly. On the next breath in, nice and tall with the hands. So breathe out, taking this time the right arm forward and the left arm back as you twist over towards the left hand side. Inhale to draw the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale to twist to the left hand side. Left arm back, right arm forward. Let's go for one more. Deep inhale in. Nice and tall for the torso. As we exhale, take the right hand forward, left hand back. On the next breath in, hands come back towards the ceiling. Let's breathe out. Let's take the hands towards the front of the mat. Step the left foot back to join the right foot. As we come to our high plank. Again, roll forwards onto the toes. Then come down to our low plank. Push up into our high plank. Again, feel free to drop the knees and do this. If your knees are on the mat, we're coming low to low plank. And we're pushing up to high plank. Let's go for two more. Coming low to low plank. Push up to high plank. This time, let's come low into low plank. Curl the toes on as we come to our upward facing dog. Uncurl the toes. Uncurl the toes. Curl the toes on this time, sorry, as you come back into your down facing dog. Take a deep inhale in through the nose and exhale through the nose. Take one more breath. On the next breath in, let's jump or step towards the front of the mat. And stay nice and heavy with your feet distance apart. Just let your upper body and your head give into gravity. Your arms are relaxed towards the ground. Maybe shake your head out and sway the body from left to right. I'm going to take a big toe grab now. So again, taking off two peace fingers on each hand. Just use your peace fingers to grab just underneath your big toes, your respective feet. If you can't reach your toes, just take a bend into your knees as much as you need. Once you've got your toes grabbed, we're going to take a halfway lift. So taking our gaze just on the front of the mat. Our arms are straight, looking to create length in our back. And on the exhale, we're bending through the hips, drawing our heads towards the mat, and using the pull of our toes to create a stretch down our hamstrings. Again, feel free to take the bend in the knees as you see fit. Or if you can, start to lengthen out the knees
to bring them nice and straight, to get a bit more of a stretch through your hamstrings. Just keep pulling through the big toes. As opposed to having your elbows pointing out towards the sides, try and draw them in towards your shins. Just keep pulling, keep that grip for 3, for 2, for 1. Release the grip. Still just heavy through the upper body and the head. This time I'm going to go and take another pose known as gorilla pose. If you've not done this before, as opposed to grabbing your toes, this time you're going to take the underside of you're going to take your palms and slip them underneath your feet. So you really want to bend into the knees. So you can really take your hands underneath your feet. So take on as much bend as you need. You take the left palm underneath the left foot, the right palm underneath the right foot. On the next inhale, again, let's come to a halfway lift. You start to lengthen out through the arms, let the gaze be on the front of the mat. Again, you get a nice stretch through your hammies here. And exhale as you start to bend through the hips, drawing our heads in the direction of the feet. Use the sole of the feet against the palms. Use that resistance to draw your head closer towards the floor, or your chest towards your quads. Oh dear. And on the next breath, just bend into the knees. Remove the right palm and the left palm. So your hands are free now. Let's come to a halfway lift, hands to the shins. So you draw up through the body, roll the shoulders back. On the exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, let's take our hands all the way up to the sky. As we step up, the hands pointing towards the ceiling. As you come down, start to draw the hands through prayer, through the chest, bend through the hip. Just come to Uttanasana. Let's come to halfway lift. And on the exhale, take the hands to the mat, step back into a high plank. Let's go through our Chaturanga, our Vinyasa, so high plank, down to low plank. Push up as you come to your upward facing dog. Just hold it here for a couple of breaths. So really push through the backs of the feet. Just to lift the knees up off the mat. Just take a glimpse over your left shoulder. If your feet are sprayed out, if your heels sprayed out towards the sides of the mat, so you can draw your heels in, which will help you come nice and high, lifting your knees off the mat. Let's take our gaze over to the right heel this time. And then come back to center. Take one more breath. Curl the toes under as you come into our down facing dog. Now to gorilla and our big toe grab. See if you've got any more room for your hamstrings to draw your heels a bit further towards your mat. On your next breath in, let's jump or step to the front of the mat. And then start to sit down onto our bums. Feel free to take some water here if it's calling. Sitting on your bum, on your glutes, just start to lengthen out through the legs. So you're sitting up, your body's at a right angle. You curl your toes in towards your face. Start to draw our arms nice and straight up towards the sky. And on the exhale, I can start to bend from the hips. Taking your chest towards your shins again. And if it's there for you, feel free to grab the back of your soles of your feet. If you're not quite reaching, which a lot of us can't, it takes time, feel free to use a towel. Maybe just wrap that towel around the backs of the soles of the feet. Hold on to either side. And again, you're not trying to bring your head to your knees, trying to bring your chest towards your shins. It just really helps to maintain the texture of the pose here. And you get a nice stretch through your hamstrings again. Inhale to draw up, exhale, Just bring your chest forward. So it's not a competition with yourself to try and bring your head to your knee. That being said, if you've got space in your hamstrings and you're able to bring your chest further down and your head towards your shins, then take it with just 3 more breaths. On the next breath in, let's start to come up through the body. Keeping your left leg straight, we're going to bend up through the right knee. Just hold that right knee so it's close towards your body. And then lift that right foot up. So the sole of the foot is coming up and over that left thigh. Take your left hand and place it just behind you. Actually, don't do that. Ignore what I just said. Take your left hand up towards the ceiling and use the hook of the elbow just to wrap it around your right knee. You're taking your right hand, placing your right hand behind you, and you're coming into the twist. So again, lift up as you breathe in, so you're nice and tall for your torso, and then exhale. A bit like how we started the class, we're twisting from the belly, keeping our chin over our chest, and using the crook of the elbow as a bit of resistance to really help us maneuver our body a bit further over towards the right hand side. Do it for 1 more breath. Inhale to draw up, exhale to twist. And start to bring yourself back center. Let's take the hands over towards the left hand side. Let's take a reverse twist. So bringing your body towards the floor. And let's just switch and just take the other side. So this time draw the right leg, so both legs are nice and straight at the front of the mat. This time you're bending through your left knee. Bring your left knee up and lift that left foot up and over the right thigh. So this time your left foot is over the right thigh. Taking the opposite arm this time, so lift the right arm up towards the ceiling and use the crook of that right elbow just to hold on to that left knee. Take your left hand, place your left hand behind you. Again, you can probably see I'm just relax through the back here. Try and bring yourself so you're nice and tall through your torso. Inhale to draw up, exhale, start to twist over towards the left hand side. Inhale to draw up. Again, try and keep your chin over your chest. Let's go for 1 more. Inhale to draw up, and exhale, let's twist over towards that left hand side. Feel it a little bit through your left glute. And release back to center. This time just take your torso, place both hands over towards the right hand side of the mat, and just bend into that. Let's take your left leg so it's back. Meeting that right foot, the right leg, and slowly we're going to start to come down to a flat on our backs. If you've got your block handy, I should have said this before, sorry. Have your block handy here. And then first take supported bridge. Or if you haven't got a block or a book, feel free to come into full bridge. So I'm going to bend up through the knees. So the soles of the feet on the mat. And that's what we like to do. So just make sure your feet are hip distance apart, as are your knees. Just see if you can just tap the backs of the heels. And once you're ready, start to lift up. That's lower back, middle back, and upper back. If you've got a block, take it so it's vertical and just place it so it sits underneath your sacrum, underneath your lower back. Just use that support. to create an openness through your back. If you don't have a block, it's not a problem. I'll move my block out of the way. For those of you who don't have a block, you're just pushing your heels into the mat and you're engaging your glutes. Just take your hands and just feel into your bums here. If your bum's all relaxed, then try and engage your glutes and help you get a bit more height through your hips. We're here for just 3, for 2, for 1. Let's start to lower back through. So from upper back, middle back, lower back. Bring your back so it's nice flat on the mat. Take your feet together, your knees apart as you come into Baddha Konasana. Legs, just let gravity open up your hips here. Just take your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly. Breathe for just 2 breaths. We're going to take 2 more back bends. Take 1 more bridge. And on the last one, for those of us who want to practice, we're going to try and come into a wheel. So draw the knees back up to meet. Set the knees to now, they're now hip distance apart, your feet hip distance apart. This time we can take the interlace of the hands underneath our bodies as we come up into our bridge pose. So again, lower back, up, middle back, upper back. Let's lift up, push into the mat through the heels, engage your glutes. And this time just take the interlace of the hands. See if you can get any more height through your hips. Draw your belly in for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly release your grip and start to release through the body, upper back, middle back, lower back. Again, bring your feet together, your knees apart, left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. So close your eyes again for 2 more breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. We're almost come towards the end of the class. So I'm coming to 1 more back bend. Again, if you want to go into the rest of your side with a bit more energy, then we're going to try and come into the full wheel. Again, if it's not quite there for you yet today, or not, you don't feel open up in your back, let's just come back into a bridge pose. Again, it soles your feet, go towards the mat. Start to push through the heels, to come up from lower back, middle back, upper back. Again, like you did last time, feel free to take the interlace. If you want to level up, if you've been practicing wheel, if you know how to do wheel, come straight into wheel. If you want to start to learn wheel, you're taking your left hand first and you're reversing it towards the side of your head. And you're doing the same with the right palm so that things are pointing forwards. Your elbows are pointing up towards the ceiling. Once you feel nice and grounded, you're not putting any weight on the neck. You're engaging your glutes, and you're going to push up through the hands as you come up into your wheel pose. If you're in your bridge, start to come down, upper back, middle back, lower back. If you're in a wheel, start to bring your head towards the mat, come up onto your upper back, start to release through your middle back and then your lower back. And together, everyone take the knees together, your feet together, sorry, and your knees apart. You can take your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. Here for just 3 breaths. Take the breaths at your own pace. Take a note of your heartbeat here. If you've not done wheel before, I'm going to try and do a video during the week, upload it to the YouTube channel, just to go through the different mechanics of how you can come up into wheel. It's a really good back bend. It creates a lot of energy as your blood starts to flow to different parts of your body. Let's all start to draw the knees together. Start to lift your shins up. Take your hands over your knees and start to bring your head up to meet the knees. So release a little bit and then start to massage out through the lower back. You can release your head down. Start to take circles with the knees, maybe clockwise first. Just massage out through your lower back. Really give some love to that part of your body, particularly if you have lower back pains. If you've gone clockwise, maybe reverse position and start to go anti-clockwise. And bring it to center. So this time take your knees, so your knees are up, directly above your hips. Your shins are parallel to the floor. And you're curling your toes towards your face. We're coming to just a few abs before we finish up. Take your hands as an interlace behind your head. On the inhale in, just draw the head up and the shoulders up off the mat. And on exhale, release down. Inhale to draw up. Exhale to release down. On the next inhale, let's bring the head up, shoulders up off the mat. Remember your legs are parallel to the mat. From here, keeping the bend, keeping the right angle, we're going to start to go for heel taps towards the floor. So if your legs at right angles, you start to angle your legs down as you start taking taps towards the floor for 1, 2. You're barely touching the floor. You come 1 millimeter off the floor. Your legs just going up and down. You're staying high up off the shoulders. I'm still counting. I think we've done about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On 11, just hold it there. Your heels are up off the mat. You're holding it at 11. I'm going to count it. 12. Keep your heels where they are. 13, 14, 15. Hold it. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And release. Release the head down. Lengthen out through your legs. So you're nice and flat on the mat. Have your arms either side of your body. On the next breath in, again take the hands, interlace them behind the head. Draw your knees together. And again, take them so that your shins are parallel to the mat. On the inhale, we're going to come up to the shoulders. From here, start to lengthen the legs, so your legs are nice and straight. Your heels are up off the mat, no more than 2 inches off the mat. Release the grip behind your head. And start to take your hands forward so you're on a nice low boat. Again, embrace any shakes and wobbles here. You're literally balancing on your bum here. Just lift further up off the shoulders for 3, for 2, for 1. And release. Release yourself to the mat. Just start to massage out through the back of the skull as you look from left to right. Just come to happy baby before we finish. So just draw your knees up into your chest. Use your hands to grab your knees. And this time, take your grip and just hold onto the outside of both feet. So just imagine a baby when a baby's crying. It's lying on its back. You're taking a bend for your knees. The soles of your feet are facing the ceiling. So it's almost as if you're holding up the ceiling with your feet. They're nice and parallel to the ceiling. Just using the outside, just gripping the outside of your feet. Start to draw your legs that much more in towards the hips. Try and keep the base of your spine. Try and keep your sacrum on the mat. Trying to come up high. So this is a nice stretch to bring you into your hips here. And release. Release the grip. Bring the legs to their back. Flat on the mat. Just close your eyes. Place your arms either side of your body. Release your ujjayi. You breathe in. Come back into your natural breath. As we come into Shavasana for just a couple of minutes. Bring your awareness back to the mat. Take a deep breath in together through the nose. Release everything out through the mouth. Start to bring awareness and movement back to your hands and your feet. Maybe rock the head from side to side. Start to come up out of Shavasana. Just draw the knees back into chest one more time. Lift the head up. Take head to knee. Just rock over to either your left or your right side as you come into fetal position. Stay for a couple of seconds. Start to push up. As you come back into your seated position, you come up onto your knees or cross your legs. Just keeping your eyes closed. Just sit nice and tall through your body. Just take your hands into prayer. As you finish up, again, just bring a sense of gratitude to yourselves for turning up today for the 60 minutes and for supporting each other virtually, wherever you might be. Continue to support yourselves, your friends, your family for this coming week. Thank you. All done. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining in. Again, I think this is maybe week 13 or 14. I never thought we'd go this long. But yeah, do you know what? Let me know how you found that one. I tried to give a bit more time towards the end than I normally do. Albeit didn't drop as many abs in. Those will come next week if you decide to come back again. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Again, let us know the feedback. Yeah, let me know if there's anything else you'll be working as well, muscle-wise.
body-wise, flexibility-wise. I'm going to try and start to incorporate some arm balancing into future practices, hence why we're doing loads of like high planks and low planks. But yeah, I'm hungry. I'm going to go and eat. If you can, like the videos as well, because I think that helps the algorithms or something on YouTube. Subscribe as normal, continue to share. All your support's appreciated, and I hope you have a wicked Sunday. I'll keep this on for another 5 minutes or so. But yeah, hit me up with any comments, and yeah, cheers guys, and have a great Sunday. God bless and take care. See what beats we've got. I think it's a bit of house today, but I hope it doesn't turn you off.